Hello, welcome. Today is our first day back after an extended break from yoga practice. So I am gonna keep it kind of simple and basic, just so we can get our bodies moving again gently. And so to start, we're actually gonna start seated. And if you want to sit on a chair, you can sit on a chair. If you have a pillow or a bolster, you can sit on that, or you could just sit cross-legged. But it's always nice to have a little lift to the hips. So a pillow off your chair if you need it, Alexis. And sitting in a comfortable Sukhasana. This is just a comfortable seat. And maybe if it's at all uncomfortable, get up on a chair.
Sit.
And close your eyes and let your hands rest on your lap, or palms up or palms down. And just start to lengthen and deepen the breath, tuning into the body and scanning around for any tension you're holding. Seeing what you're able to relax. Just kind of taking an inventory of where you are. Try to align your ears, your shoulders, and your hips so that you have a straight spine. We're going to think about the central and the governing vessel here. This is our kind of center in this space of neutrality. And just imagine the line of the central meridian going from the perineum all the way up to the chin. And if you want, you can trace it a couple of times. And then the governing meridian, which goes from the tailbone up the spine and then up and over the head to the upper lip. You can trace that a couple of times. And then just let yourself come back to this resting meditative position. Maybe exhale through the mouth, allowing your thoughts to settle, your mind to let go of anything that isn't here in the body and in the breath, which is harder than it sounds. And just bring your palms together at your heart center and take a moment, set your own intention or affirmation for your practice. Why are you here? What is your goal? Deep breath in and let it out through the mouth. 2 more. Really deep inhale. Breathe into that intention and let it out through the mouth. One last one. And exhale. Bring your arms by your side and slowly and gently inhale the arms up as if you're gathering the breath. And then fingertips touch and exhale, and let the palms kind of press down in front of you as you exhale. So it's like you're smoothing the energy, bringing it in, and then pushing it down and through. So inhale up, exhale, gently glide down. And one more inhale up. Exhale, releasing down. And then inhale, bring it up. This time we're going to open the hands and twist to the right. So bring the right hand behind you, the left hand to the opposite knee, and look over the right shoulder, still lengthening through the spine. Inhale, lifting, and exhale, gently twist a tiny bit deeper. So follow the breath in to lift, and exhale to turn slightly more. And the next inhale, you're going to gently release both arms up. And exhale, twist to the left, bring the right hand to the opposite knee, left hand behind you, and following the breath in to lift and out, kind of engage the core as if your spine is a pole and all the muscles are wrapping around it. To gently turn your gaze. And then slowly come back. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. And then come over onto your hands and knees. So take that pillow out and come into tabletop position. So your knees are under your hips, your hands are under your shoulders. And you're just going to explore how your spine is feeling today. So very slowly and gently inhale to lift the chin and chest and drop the belly down. And exhale to tuck the tailbone and round the spine. And continue following the breath. Inhale, slowly and gently unraveling the front of the body. And exhale, gently stretching the back of the body and just noticing where the movement feels easy, where it feels restricted. And we'll come back to this, but we're going to take our left hand up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale, thread the needle. So slide the left hand under the right wrist and drop your left shoulder to the ground and your left cheek to the ground. And just take a breath here. Feel the stretch across the back. And then slowly press the ground away. Inhale the left arm back up. And then bring it down. Just this quick one. And take the right hand up now. Opening. And then slide it under and across. And drop your shoulder and temple to the ground. Breathe into the stretch. Slowly press yourself back up to release the arm and bring it down. And now we're going to take another quick cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, round. One more. Just notice if your spine feels any freer. And then we'll do one more. So left arm high. And slide it under. Thread the needle. Pressing into the right hand to kind of roll onto that left shoulder a little bit more. Pulling your hips back, trying to even out your knees. And then slowly press away. And unravel if you want to open the arm back up again. And bring it down. And then the right side, right arm high. And slide it through. Just noticing your hips and knees and trying to balance out and even those out. So the twist is through the thoracic spine. Maybe press into that left hand to roll a little further, as if you're rolling onto your back. And then slowly slide it back up, lift the arm high, and release it down. And now just take some free kind of movement, cat cow, or circling through the spine. Just kind of let it wash through. Follow the breath. Each inhale and exhale lets you tune into spine and the movement. And then swing around so that you're on your back, coming into a bridge position. So set it up so that your heels and your hips are kind of close together. And you're going to come onto your back, arms by your side. And bend your elbows so your hands are pointing up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to have you press into your elbows and really squeeze the shoulder blades together. And release. And just kind of feel that lift of the chest. And that's what we want to have in our bridge pose. So bring your arms by your side. If you have a yoga mat and you grab the edges of the yoga mat, you can imagine pulling the mat apart from underneath you, and that does the same thing. That helps to lift the chest and engage the shoulder blades together. So arms by your side, and you're going to just gently lift the hips from the ground, lifting, and then pressing, either pulling the mat apart or pressing the upper arms down to help lift the chest closer to the chin, so there's more room for your hips to lift. Take a deep breath into the belly. Watch it rise and fall. And then slowly lower one vertebrae at a time down. And right now we're working on the kind of building strength through the spine and flexibility. And so we're going to do this one more time, lifting up into a bridge pose. Just seeing kind of how that feels, where you can adjust the engagement of your shoulders and arms to help support the lift of the hips. And then lower down. And then the next, this is an optional alteration of the pose. So bring your feet a little closer together. Send your left foot straight up into the air. This is optional. So if you have back issues and this feels weird, don't do it. But if you can, lift up and point your toes or flex the toes back and point the ball of the foot to the ceiling and really see where the support of the arms can help you. One more deep breath here. And lower down. Bring the foot down. And then just come into your regular bridge. And just kind of notice how that feels. Come on down. Right toes point straight up. And then when you're ready, lift. Keeping the breath steady. And lower. One last kind of middle bridge with both feet lifting up into and lower down. Grab your knees and just kind of rock side to side. Maybe circle the knees around both directions. And then bring your knees towards your armpits. And you can just kind of rock, lengthening your spine. Pull the knees towards the armpits and kind of lift the chest and drop the tailbone to the floor. So this is a happy baby. You can also lift your feet up towards the ceiling and grab your feet. So you can grab your toes, the outer edges of the foot, the insides of the feet. But you want to keep that kind of pressing down of the tailbone and slight arch in the mid-spine to help keep that tailbone grounded and the spine lengthening here. And then if you want, you can extend the right leg out and kind of rock over to the right. And then bring it in and rock the left leg out, extending the left leg. And this truly reminds me of a happy baby, just kind of gently swaying side to side. And then when you've had enough of that, you can just bring your knees in and give yourself a little hug and release. Roll over onto your side body and press yourself up. Again, onto your hands and knees. And we're going to step the left toes back. And then step the right toes back. So we're in a plank position. Press the floor away. Try to press the spine up, pushing the spine up between the shoulder blades. And draw the pubic bone towards the chest slightly to really engage. You can hear my voice shaking. And then lift the hips up into the air, press the floor away, and walk your feet a little wider, maybe a few inches forward, into a downward facing dog. Press into your fingertips, Try to lengthen through the armpits. Maybe bend the knees. And just feel the length and stretch of the back body. And walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend the knees and let your head hang forward in a ragdoll. So knees bent, belly resting on the tops of the thighs. You can grab your opposite elbow with opposite hand. Shake your head, yes. Wiggle it side to side, no, maybe. Just make sure your head feels heavy. And then if you want, you can gently sway like a figure eight with your hips above you. And just let your chest kind of lean onto one thigh and then the other. And then try to trace that figure eight backwards. Let your brain and your body break old habits. And release the arms, draw the belly in, and slowly and gently roll up. Head stays heavy until the last moment. Bring your feet together, turn your palms forward, and just let yourself arrive here. Might take a second. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, dive forward, soften the knees. Let your head hang. Inhale, start to slide the hands up the shins, reach the chest forward. Think of that central meridian lengthening. Exhale, soften the knees and relax, rounding the governing meridian, letting that hang forward. One more inhale, lengthening. Feel the central vessel expand. Exhale, round. And then one last time, inhale, long flat back. And exhale, round. Rise up, inhale, arms high, and exhale, hands to heart. Arms by your side, palms facing forward. Shift your weight onto your right foot and bend the left knee. Just kind of lift the knee up to hip height and flex the foot. And you can stay here, or you can lift the arms up. Rooting down into the four corners of the right foot, lifting through the fingertips. Really feel the strength. Some people would like to kick their foot forward. I'm not doing that today. I'm protecting my low back. And lower that foot down, hands to heart center. Rock back and forth, kind of shake it out. And then arms by your side. Weight on the left foot. Bend the right knee, lifting the knee to hip height. Feeling the four corners of the left foot engage down into the ground. The lift through the chest and the crown of the head. And then you can lift the arms up if you'd like. You can kick the foot out if that feels good to you. And breathe. And release it down. Inhale, arms up high. Exhale, dive forward, soften the knees, let your head hang. Good. Inhale, slide the hands up the shins, reach the chest forward. Good, exhale, folds. Long flat back, inhale. Exhale, round. And then last one, inhale, long flat back. And round. Good. Slowly come on up. Inhale and exhale, hands to heart. Alexis, does that irritate your back to do that? Okay. I noticed the first one you were very long, flat back, and then the second one you were kind of like not as into it. So I just wanted to make sure your back's doing okay. We both have back stuff going on, so that's what this class is centered around. So let's just stand in mountain pose and then widen the feet. So the length of your mat. Look down and your toes should be pointing straight ahead or a little bit in. And then hands to the hips, and we're just gonna fold forward. So reach the chest as you hinge, and then bring your right hand to the ground under your nose. Left hand is gonna reach up and pull the hips back so that you're not swaying over to the left. You're keeping the legs and hips even. And then slowly bring that left hand down, replace it on the floor where the right was, and lift the right arm high. Reach the crown of your head forward so you're not hanging the head towards the ground. You're lifted and you're extending long through the spine. Again, that twist around the spine. And let that right hand come on down, and then let your head hang towards the ground. You can soften the knees. You can bring your feet closer together if you need to, or you can widen them if you want to reach the crown of the head towards the earth. Hands can be on the mat under your chin, or they can be out holding your ankles. Try to bring the weight towards the toes so that you can lift your tailbone a little higher. Let the upper body and head get a little more heavy towards the ground. And then bring your hands back to the ground in front of you, lifting the spine, and slowly bend into the right knee and lift the left toes. And you can come all the way down like I'm coming, or if you just want to do a little bit, you could just kind of bend the right knee slightly. Then come back through the center and bend over into the left knee and let the right toes come up, feeling the stretch. And then just kind of come back and forth at your own speed. If you want, you can lift one arm up and out and making a little bit more of a graceful move. Can help really extend through the body. And then we'll come back into the forward fold when you feel this is kind of complete. You can take another round, or you can just come back into that forward fold when you're ready. And putting your hands on your ankles or on the floor beneath the chin. Re-engage the tailbone up to the sky, the crown of the head towards the floor. Then bring the hands to the hips and come on up back to a standing position. Wiggle your feet together. Stand with your palms facing forward. Let's just shake it out. I feel like I need a little wiggle, wiggle. And then lift the arms up high. Grab the left wrist with the right hand. And then lean on over towards the right side. So you're kind of arcing the body. And you can look down, you can kind of pivot your gaze down to get the stretch behind the shoulder a little more, or you can look up to get the chest stretch. Then lift up and grab the right wrist and lean over to the left. Come on up, inhale, exhale, arms down by your side. And we're gonna do a figure 4 hip stretch. If you need a chair, if you feel like you need a wall or a chair for balance, what we're gonna do is take the right leg and cross it over the left knee, flexing the foot, and then just coming down like this. So it's a bit of a balance, and if you need anything, feel free to put a chair in front of you. Put hands in prayer position. Make sure you're flexing that right foot back to protect the joints, just softening the elbows towards the ankle and knee. And you can come into this at any level, so this may be enough. If you want, you can let your whole body fold forward, hands to the ground, and kind of straighten the standing leg a little more. I'm gonna stay here today. And then slowly release, step it down, widen the feet. I'm just gonna rock side to side. And then we'll take the other side. So feet directly under the hips. Bring the left foot up and over, crossing the ankle over the knee, hands to heart, and starting to bend any amount that feels good. Maybe just a little. You may want to bring your elbows all the way down. You may want to take the forward fold. If you can imagine in your creative mind, there's an arm balance here where we tuck the shin bone under the armpits and come down onto the hands and let the standing leg actually fly. So it's an arm balance, which I will not demonstrate for you. But this is set up for that, which maybe one day you'll try. Come on up. And then just widen the feet, just kind of shake it out. I don't know if you could even visualize that, but I'll send a picture. Someone else doing it. And then we're gonna widen the feet, toes turned out now, and bend into the knees and just kind of wiggle the hips side to side and try to get the knees to point in the same direction as your toes. So your toes may need to adjust, coming into goddess pose. So the arms by your side, elbows at shoulder height, palms facing forward, and like leaning back into the heels, spine straight. Coming from here into a lion's breath. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, elbows down, and tongue reaches out as far as you can as you exhale fiercely. Beautiful. Inhale. 2 more. Good. Hands to the hips, straighten, turn the toes in, and step the feet together. Arms by the side. And just breathing, letting the energy settle. Widening the feet once again. Arms out wide. Try to widen the feet as far apart as the wrists are, right? So the heels under the wrists. Turn the toes in slightly. And then you're going to pivot the right toes out. So you're going to turn on your heel to turn your right toes in the same direction as the fingertips. So drop the shoulders, look over your right hand, and then just gently bend into that right knee. And stop when the knee comes to ankle. Yep, perfect. Maybe wiggle that back heel out. See if you can widen your stance if that feels better, or stay where you are. Dropping the shoulders down. Squeezing the floor with your feet. Engaging the leg. And then bring there's an echo. Bring the back hand to the hip and lift the right arm up to the ceiling. Feel the lift of the fingertips, the lift of the rib cage, breathing into that. And then bring the elbow down to the front thigh. Gently placing the elbow on the thigh, palm up. Roll the top shoulder back. See if you can, as if you're going to look to the ceiling. And if you'd like to, you can lift that arm straight up, or you can bring it up alongside the ear. I think I'm off screen right now, but the fingertips. Yep. Turn your palm to the ground so that the pinky finger's kind of pivoting a little bit towards the earth, and really lift through those fingers. Inhale, come on up, hands to hips, straighten the leg, turn the toes in. And then turning the left toes out. So just taking it to the other side. Arms out, wiggle the feet so that you have a comfortable stance. And when you're ready to bend into the left knee, letting the knee just come directly above the ankle, no further. Right hand to the hip, left arm reaches straight up and back, and breathing, really feeling the stretch through the ribs. Squeezing the floor with the feet. Gently putting the left forearm on the top of the thigh, turning the palm up, gently kind of pivoting that upper shoulder back, and then bring the right arm up or alongside the ear, palm facing the earth, pinky slightly pivoting down. And just feel the long stretch from that right heel all the way up through the fingertips. Lifting yourself back up, hands to the hips, turn the toes in, and step the feet together. Arms by your side. Just letting it all settle. Let's bring the toes together now and heels slightly apart, coming into a chair pose, Utkatasana. So sit your hips back, reach the fingertips down just behind your knees, and then bring the hands forward and plug the shoulders back to lift the chest. Sit down a little more. If you want, you can lift the arms high, maybe put palms together. Tuck the tailbone towards the heels. And stand, hands to heart center. Deep breath. Now we're going to take an eagle pose. So sit down into your Utkatasana. And then lift the, I'm trying to mirror you here, lift the left knee. So the left heel is lifting. And you can stay here, or you can wrap the whole left leg over the right, trying to tuck the toes behind the standing leg. Good. And then bring your arms out. And now bring the right arm under the left. And you can either hug yourself or you can lift the hands to intertwine them so the palms touch. You're going to sink the hips down and lift the elbows a little higher. Look forward like you're an eagle looking far, far away. So let your gaze lengthen. So you drop the hips, lift the elbows. Breathe into the back of the rib cage. And slowly unwind. Inhale the arms up high. And exhale, hands to heart. Arms by your side. If you want to shake it out, you can. And then when you're ready, again, setting up for that chair pose, sitting the hips down, bending the right knee, lifting the right heel. And if this is all you can do, then just stay here. If you want, you cross it over, reaching the toes for the back of this standing leg, arms open. And now you're going to bring the left arm under the right, either hugging, grabbing the shoulder blades, or lifting, intertwining the hands. I'm here still. Lift the elbows. Drop the hips. Try to drop your left hip a little more, Alexis. Yeah. You're kind of swaying out to your right. So I want you to bring the left ribs down. Lift the elbows. And then slowly unwind. Inhale the arms up high. Exhale, hands to heart. Great. Come on down. Did you say something? Okay. Come on down onto your back. Hug your knees in. We're going to settle back onto the mat, rock side to side. Keep your right knee hugging in and let your left leg extend straight down. Pull your right knee towards the right armpit, right chest, compressing the joints, the right hip. Breathe the belly into the thigh. And then release the leg straight down the mat. And let yourself just relax completely. Feeling the warm blood flow go through that hip. And then taking your left leg up and hugging the left knee towards the left armpit, left chest, squeezing it in, compressing the hip joint slightly. And really breathing into the low belly so that the low belly gets massaged by the pressure of the leg against it. And then release that leg down and just see if you can relax and allow yourself to notice the feeling of the blood rushing through that hip joint. And then we're do Viparita Karani, which is legs up the wall. So what you can do is there's several options. You can take a flat pillow or blanket and slide it under your hips and tailbone. You can even roll your mat up or fold it up under your hips and just slide it under the low hips. Bring your knees in and then let your legs just go straight up into the air. And again, the blood flow, the blood comes down out of the legs towards the heart. And if you want, you can always go to a wall if you want to slide up to a wall and let your legs be supported there. I kind of like the feeling of the free floating legs. Gently bring them down. Slide the pillow out from under your hips. And we'll come into our Shavasana, our final rest. If there's any other kind of stretches you'd like to do, you'll maybe want to twist side to side, do another happy baby or another bridge. Let yourself kind of move around, find any last little movements that your body's calling for. And then let your body once again find Savasana, corpse pose, letting yourself fully and completely rest. Legs wide. You may want to put something under your knees or a blanket over your hips. Arms wide, palms up. Softening the jaw and the shoulders. Scanning the major kind of joints of the body. See if you're still holding or carrying anything. And see if you can release with your intention. Whatever it is you're holding on to. The breath will just get more and more relaxed. No longer controlling it, just observing the breath. Remembering the affirmation you set at the beginning of your practice. And silently repeating that. Rolling onto your side body, curling up. Letting yourself feel the weight of your head towards the earth. And carefully pressing yourself up to a seated position. Bring your hands to your heart. We'll take 3 deep breaths together in through the nose. Sigh it out through the mouth. In through the nose. Release through the mouth. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Thank you so much for practicing together today. It was lovely to have you all here.